one last. All right, so
Welcome to Arrows Out.
what are we going to talk about today, Miss Riley?
We are talking about holistic health, and it's something that we try to live out every single day. It's not always perfect, though.
Yep, we're almost a full week into January now, so
Yeah. So
we know a lot of people are beginning their health journey towards the early part of the year. Mm-hmm. Not that anybody's going to watch this,
No.
but still, the theme.
Yep. 30 days.
Okay.
First 30 days are the most important.
So, do you have a pickup line?
I do have a pickup line.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Feel my shirt. That's wifey material.
100%. It's thick. It's sturdy. It smells good. It blends in.
You like
Right.
that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would definitely be.
That would get you. I walk up to you at a grocery store.
Again, anything that you would. Yeah, it would work. Because a girl coming up to a guy would be like, oh, wow.
Well, I feel like some people might find it a little abrasive.
No, it's
They're
not like
like-
you're going full.
I'm not pushy.
Yeah. It's just
Like,
funny, comedic.
I know.
I don't think mine will land. I've been trying to keep it original.
Oh, okay. It doesn't go over my head.
How do you get away with it?
Can
Blending into society, this beautiful angel from above.
Oh my God, stop.
So
Like,
bad. That's why I was like, I can't. Thinking it is one thing, and then actually saying it, I'm like, this is so bad.
No game.
So, no game.
Oh, it's great. That's why I married
It was
you.
either getting away with being an angel or getting away with stealing my heart.
The stealing heart thing probably would have been
Yeah.
smooth.
But I kind of did something like that last week, so. Yeah.
That was interesting.
I'll put more thoughts into it.
You know what? I'm gonna land another one on you that you'll like.
Fine.
Hold on. All right. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No. Got you.
Brood.
Yes, I do. Why? Which one when you walk by again?
Yep.
See, look, you got that online, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of something original.
You know we're not
Smooth.
smooth.
No.
That's why we married each other. Because we knew we wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna borrow from the great people that know smoothness, and that's not me.
Yeah.
Not my profession. You know who is, surprisingly though? Who would probably have really good pickup lines?
Who?
Your cousin Justin.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Ask him.
He is.
Ask
right, I'm
him,
gonna ask
Mr.
him.
Rico
He'd
Suave.
be like, hey, mommy.
Ask him for some original stuff.
If I can't call you mommy, my kids will.
See, there you go.
Yeah. I just gotta think like Justin.
Yes,
All
you
right.
do. All right.
See, but that's too far forward.
It's funny though.
Okay,
All you gotta do is laugh.
fine.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't have to say it all sophisticated.
You're right.
You're already pretty. That's intimidating enough. Okay?
You think I'm pretty? See, a man being called pretty is like if you came up to me like, "Wow, you're pretty," I'd be like, "Does she think I'm gay?" Like, no, I'm not. I swear.
No, I'm not pretty.
Yeah, I'm not pretty.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean I'm pretty?
You're pretty. All right. Get past this awkwardness.
Yes. Now let's talk about, since we're going to talk about holistic health, obviously there's a lot of spirituality that ties into it. So let's open up with our verse.
Yeah. So to backtrack a little bit, all of this stems from the business that we have, turning it into
You
a family
started.
thing. started.
I joined.
Yep. Of spirit, mind, body athletics, and connecting those three, spirit, mind, body, really stemmed from Luke 2:52, which states, "And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man." So that's, again, another thing that Coach Ware taught us. When he would check in with us, he'd be like, "Hey, are you 252 healthy?" And we knew exactly what that meant, of not just like, if he asked you, "Hey, how are you doing?" you wouldn't just say good. It's like, I don't want to hear a one-word answer. I want to know like how you're doing in those 4 areas of life, meaning physical health, social health, spiritual health, and mental health. So we'll kind of break down. Here we go, Joey. Yes.
It's always her.
Yep.
It's the look back like, do you love me?
Do you love me? Yes. What would
Okay.
be Joey's pickup line? Well, back to here.
I'll follow you home.
I'll follow you home.
I don't
Just
know.
pet me.
Yeah. I'll love you
Anyways.
if you feed me.
Yeah, that's, never mind. It's like, that's also your pickup line.
And facts. I
Okay.
love food.
So 252 healthy. We'll kind of dig into each area, starting with being socially healthy.
Well, since you're talking about checking in, let's check in with each other.
Okay.
Or do we like ask like, hey, are you 252 healthy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it really just, are you healthy? And we know what that means.
Okay.
And Coach would check in.
All right. Are you healthy?
I'm good.
No one word answers.
Yeah.
Socially, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
To be honest, it was a good topic to talk about today because like, you get lost in the everyday flow and pace of life, especially post holidays, where like, I gotta check in with myself and see if I'm actually healthy. So yeah, over the last 3 days, I would say I have been more aware of like, how am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say socially, it's the same. I'm an introvert, so like, my work is so, I guess, external and working with a lot of different people, but I'm fine. I kind of needed my alone time the last 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I've noticed.
Yeah, sorry. But I'm like, I just want to be
I know.
by myself. So I got that, and it was great because with that alone time goes into, more of the spiritual side of, and look, it's hard to just talk about like where you're at spiritually, health wise, because that's not really like, how do you measure that? So the way that you'd measure it, we'll talk about later. But personally, I would say on a trajectory.
I don't even know if
I
I said that
am
right.
projecting.
Projecting.
Gosh.
Wow.
So mentally, not so good. Not so good. But spiritually, definitely trending. There you go.
Okay.
Improving, just as, again, we had that quarterly a few weeks ago with our church group, and just connecting with the people has always been refreshing.
Yeah.
So, and we have another one this weekend. Anyways, so projecting up physically, post holidays again, trying to, physically my body feels fine.
You've been working out almost every day, which is good.
But it's been too mundane and like routine. So trying to change the pace and get back more to like the functional side of things And then mentally, I think mentally goes hand in hand with like spiritually, but to go more on the intellect or logical side of things, I would say that's probably my area of most needed improvement. Is I don't, apart from doing like Sudoku puzzle type stuff, I definitely want to get more into like the reading side of things, and which Meiji, one of my clients, gave me a book.
Oh,
So
great.
Yep.
Did
That
he give you
covers-
one or two?
one.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we can do it together. It's a parenting book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've totally been on that same page where I genuinely like want to do something that's actually going to stimulate my brain because I feel so autopilot lately that, and probably because of the holidays.
Holidays
My
and
mom
your
brain.
season starts.
Yes.
Like right during the holiday time. So
Yeah. So like we're at a point I think where we can only give so much energy to certain areas, and we do, and then the second we get home we're like we both need our own like independent space, and we're totally fine with it.
my independent space is the bathroom. But yet Gigi still.
You and me both. I take a bath and Gianna's like, I just want to talk to you, and she sits on the toilet and she's like, wait, I'm gonna take a poop, and I was like, can you go in your bathroom? Please. But yeah, I think I'm on the same trajectory as you. But socially, definitely haven't had any energy to be social. And there's like a part of me that feels guilty about it because I have had a few friends reach out about hanging out, and I'm just not in the space for it right now. And if I went to go hang out with friends, I know mentally I just would not be there. And I would not be serving in that aspect. Mentally and spiritually, I would love to start reading or doing something proactive. Physically, I mean, I did my leg lifts on the floor the other night. So, and I stand and walk for work. Pregnancy, physically, I'm doing good, I'd say. I can't complain.
Compared to being this far along with Gigi, how does your body feel?
Way different. I mean, with Gianna, I was still playing volleyball with the girls, and I felt completely fine. But Keala, I feel like he just carries so differently that I'm in a little bit more of like an uncomfortable position than I was with Gianna. So it's harder to move in certain ways. But yeah.
That covers all four. You tied spiritually and mentally together, which they really do tie in together. And again, that's the whole point of holistic health, is that they're all intertwined. And when you tend to when one area is trending down, you are affected within the rest.
Yeah.
Like it'll be your presence or vibe or whatever people call it feels off when one of those four is not in alignment. So
what's like the first thing that you do to kind of check in with all that? I mean, of course, spiritually, but what gives you like that energy boost to get out of autopilot mode?
Having a kid. Like not creating another kid, but like what reveals where I am at is the small moments where Gigi's like, Daddy, I need you. Or I'm like, okay, this is what matters in life. Like that refreshes me the most. So just family time together and going back to what actually matters. So recentering and simplifying things of like, I don't have to do everything all at once.
Yeah. Maybe disconnecting a little bit from work.
Yeah. Pre-family and pre-kids, it was so easy to go and escape or do things that poured back into your life. And that usually was, being out and about, not socially really, but
but we would like go to the beach.
Yeah.
We would, if we wanted to go for a run, like you could just get up and go. But no, I mean, even today I was like, hey, I gotta go.
For a run?
No, I meant like, I gotta go in for a meeting real quick. Can you watch Gigi? Like we gotta always check in to see if we're able to do something.
So to break down the 4 areas, being socially healthy is, or at least our definition, and we're not experts by any means, but a way that we piece words together for being socially healthy is the ability to form and maintain positive relationships. This requires intentionality, authenticity, transparency, and vulnerability. And so I would say, like, how can you tell when you're growing socially? I would say it comes to those 4 areas of, are you being intentional in your pursuit of others? Or are you intentionally avoiding other people? Because sometimes that is part of social health, is like taking a step back.
Absolutely.
But are you living authentically in the relationships that you have? Can you be your full self? Transparency. Are you feeling like you're hiding parts? And not so much like lying. I mean, that's a very black and white answer of it.
Yeah. But then there's also like fear of like being judged.
Yeah, I don't
know if guys go through it as much as girls do, but girls definitely go through like fear of judgment. Does that friend like me? Or is she like, can I actually be myself?
Yeah, never.
Oh, just wait till Gigi's a teenager.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Just wait.
I mean, I see it with the girls that
Yeah.
are at workouts, and yeah.
Yeah.
But, and then vulnerability, I would say that's probably the most untouched subject within the social life. And if it is a vulnerability, it's not an authentic, it's like being vulnerable for the sake of wanting something from somebody, or like.
Yeah. But it's not a bad thing to also keep your heart guarded when you're being vulnerable too. So like you can give a little bit, but not the whole cake, if that makes sense.
Yes. Expand on that.
So you're meeting someone for the first time.
Oh, yeah,
right?
first time.
Okay, but you're also, maybe that person is in a season, right? And it's not a good season. And you don't necessarily want to be around that person. It's okay to keep your heart guarded just because of things like, I mean, like everyone goes through their stuff. So, but you can't blame them for going through their things, but you can also like stay a little guarded with it. I've had friendships where I've had to take a step back a little bit because I'm like, hey, that's whatever you're going through, I'm here. But for my own sake and my own mental health, like I need to make sure like I'm good because you're kind of rubbing off on me and I don't like it.
So how does that deal with vulnerability though? I feel like that's you being authentic and transparent. Like, I'm not saying you got to be vulnerable with every single person in your, like, there's people that are in your circle, or like, just, again, it's as a whole, do you have the freedom to be vulnerable? I think is what social health is.
Yeah.
Not like, because there's those people, and we both know the person we're thinking of, that's like airs out everything. You're like, look, you just met that person yesterday, and now they know all your life, everything.
Yeah, that's not necessarily being vulnerable.
No, but in today's culture, that's what's viewed as vulnerability.
Yeah.
But okay, so that covers social health.
And which in that aspect, I'm saying guard yourself a little bit with who that person is. And then
it is a ebb and flow. You can't be overly transparent, overly.
You want to hop on the mic, Joey?
At least with being authentic. If you're trying too hard, that's not being authentic.
Yes.
And then mentally, so being mentally healthy, a combination of intellect and wisdom. Intellect is often associated with academic learning and logical thinking, and wisdom is often associated with discipline and discernment. When developing both equally, we can have a sense of control over our emotions rather than being controlled by our emotions. So I think mental health goes with emotional intelligence.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know what the
EQ.
Oh yeah, EQ. But
no, we're not playing doggies.
Anyways,
Kennel.
Why can I not think of the word? Clearly, I need to sharpen that mental side of things right now. I think your pregnancy brain is wearing off on me a little bit.
Honestly, Koa.
Go fix it.
Oh my goodness. Kennel, now. Go in your kennel. Yeah. Go.
The troubles of having dogs is sometimes they don't have a concept of space and spatial awareness.
Well, with all the wires too.
So, as I was saying.
Back to mental.
Yeah.
What's the word that you're trying to think of?
something that's contradicting, like emotional intelligence.
It contradicts emotional intelligence?
No. Just usually emotions and intelligence are not within the same realm of, like, you're not viewed as intelligent if you're overly emotional.
Yeah.
But having emotional intelligence is its own EQ. Anyways. Do you want to talk a little bit or expand about the difference between intellect and wisdom?
Right now, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
So you take it and I'll tag on.
Okay. Well, I mean, kind of to expand on the intellect being academic and logical, whereas wisdom is like discipline and discernment. And I feel like discernment is one of your gifts.
Yes. I'd say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
somebody who's wise is not somebody who knows everything, but has the discernment to know what to do about a situation or what to say. Because there's people that, like, sure, we know, or just people that we've come across that are highly intelligent,
yes.
very intellectual people, but not the most wise in their decisions or like words or
No, it's like the lack of like
awareness.
common sense almost.
Yeah. So
But-
it is having a good sense of mental health is a balance of, because then there's the other side, the hyper spiritual, the Mountain Martin phase of like,
Yep.
the hyper false sense of wisdom, which is actually folly. It's like, if you think you're wise, check yourself.
Yeah.
Because wisdom is not a self-determined thing. It is.
No, there's a lot of humility, I think, in wisdom.
Yeah. Wisdom and humility go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that's part of the discernment piece and discipline piece. Is you can't be hot-tempered and viewed as a wise individual. So, do you want to expand more on that or no?
No.
Like we said, on the mental aspect of things,
We need
like
to sharpen up.
we have I would say a good base of mental health, and like it's not like we're unless you want to expand on postpartum and all that experience.
That's a whole different.
Because
I could do
that's
a whole.
hormonal, which is physical, which is
I could do a solo episode on pregnancy and all of that stuff. So if any moms eventually join on here to watch, we can hash it out together.
yeah.
You're not alone. We're all in it.
Yeah, there's such thing as hormones versus like being overly emotional. Hormonal is a completely different, like, yes, it taps into your hormones or into your emotions, but especially within the postpartum aspect of things, or even other people's experiences with mental health, a lot of it can be traced back to hormone imbalance, which is actually a physical thing.
Yeah.
So
big time.
that's again the importance of viewing health as a holistic approach.
Yes, and it's a full body thing. It all ties together. Your mental, your spirit, your physical. So you can't do one without the other.
Yeah. So to transition into being physically healthy, obviously taking care of your body, like how it feels, but taking care of your body via movement, nutrition, and recovery. So it's not just the exercise piece.
No. This is something I'm really looking forward to after having this baby.
Yeah.
Is getting physically back on the A game, because I just feel like a potato.
Yeah. And each of those three, meaning movement, nutrition, and recovery, play a role in the efficiency of our 12 body systems. I'm not going to go into all 12.
You sure,
So-
Mr. Kinesiology?
No. I don't think they want to hear about any of
No, they will fast forward.
Yeah, they'll skip all
Yeah.
that. So join my TED Talks if you want.
Solo
But
episode coming.
I'll give a very brief,
Yeah.
like as we mentioned, hormones, that's your endocrine system. Whereas the movement side of things would be your skeletal or your I don't want to go skeletal, muscular, or your lymphatic system, because different blockages through your lymph nodes. I'm just gonna stop there. I'd said I wouldn't go
next time we'll get a whiteboard and you'll just like write out a diagram.
my inner
Here's
Jeff
your
going.
nervous system. Here's your endocrine system. This is what this does.
Yeah.
And this is how it all stimulates the brain.
Yeah, but there are different parts of the body that go together to make the body whole, which actually ties into the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
Of a church body in itself. It's, Ephesians 6:12 through something, I believe. It just talks about the different members of the body and the roles that they play. And a hand cannot say I'm not important because I'm not an eye, or a foot cannot say I'm not important because I'm not a hand.
Yeah.
But each individual part plays its role. And so spiritually, being spiritually healthy is having an identity rooted in a relationship with God. Again, this is just our perspective. We're not claiming to be experts, but we're going to live authentically and transparently.
Yeah. This is how we choose to live out our lives.
Yes.
Honestly.
And so having an identity rooted in a relationship with God, often referred to as sonship, which we can have a whole dialogue on that, probably on a day that we have Jeff and Grace on here, because that's such a great, they're the experts on explaining that in a different perspective than we can. This involves understanding it is God who intimately pursues us rather than us striving to prove ourselves to God. And so it's, yes, we talk about arrows out, meaning our hearts on a swivel to help and serve others versus being internally focused. But this set of arrows is more of an up and down aspect, whereas most spirituality or church life is man trying to pursue God of like, I got to do X, Y, or Z in order to be favored by God. When the reality of it is having a heart of a son or daughter, where it's viewing God as a father who loves his child. And the story of the prodigal son, again, we could talk about that another day, but just what we call having a heart of sonship versus having an orphan mentality.
Yeah.
So do you care to expand any on the physically or spiritual side of things?
I mean, I've always been a visual person in this aspect. This took a long time for me, honestly, to like really start to understand and connect with. Because when we first started to get into this topic, I was like, how the heck do you, like, especially with an athlete background, because everything is like, you have to strive for performance. Yes. And I was like, if I do all the right things and I do the checklist, like, I'm a good person, but why do I feel like I'm still suffering? And I didn't really understand what it was to like sit and be a daughter to someone else that was not actually like someone else who is really like my physical father here on earth. And one day we were at church and someone was like, yeah, like God is just so real to me that I can like feel his presence and like I can feel the love of what an actual father is. And that really sat with me. And I was like, she said that so authentically. And I was like, do I feel the same way? And like, do I really view God where I'm like, he feels so real to me, where like, I feel like he could be like sitting in the chair next to me? Or am I just kind of like, yeah, he exists. And I know that here, but I don't really like know that in my heart.
Yeah. It's connecting the mind and the heart.
Yeah.
And the gut.
Yeah.
Those are three, again.
I always knew him in my head, and that's about like 90% of the people here. But I didn't really know him in my heart until well into my relationship with God.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Again, Coach Ware, he's just been the greatest
He'll
man.
have to be someone.
Oh, if he wants somebody that's gonna bring the fire, that's Coach Ware right there. He will drop some he's just such a great and intense individual. But one thing that he really challenged us as we were seniors graduating was, and actually this is probably checking in once we were in college and starting to get into like adult life, is your mission statement, or like his was spectacular and very immaculate, if that's the word I'm thinking of.
I think you're spot on. I think it's good. You need to do
Talk
some.
about a smooth man, though, Coach. Anyways, that's kind of where the authenticity, transparency, and vulnerability came from. Is when I was back in 2019, first launching the business. The mission statement, for lack of better words, was to grow and develop others through authenticity, transparency, and vulnerability, allowing them to experience the love of the Father. Not like my fatherly love towards them, because that's it, but not it. But more so is as people experience the way that you're engaging with them and interacting with them, can they tell that God's love is flowing through you?
Yeah.
To what you were talking about earlier, where you were talking about how that girl how you felt it. There are ways that you can feel it from other people, of like there's just something different being set apart.
Yeah. And I will tell you firsthand that both of us, I'd say, we're not very touchy-feely people.
Wifey material.
So to be able to sense that off of somebody is like really, really did resonate with me. And I guess that's also why it takes a while too for some people, is maybe just because they're not touchy-feely. But and I'm sure like the people that are very emotional, it's really easy for them to feel it, but it's really hard for them to stick with it because they lack maybe that discipline within the wisdom and the intellect.
Yeah.
So we'll have to, finding that balance is tough.
Yep. So sonship is the basis or the foundation of spiritual health. And if, for those of you, 2 people that watch, if you're interested in a book, a good book is From Slavery to Sonship by Jack Frost. I know his name is Jack Frost. How ironic
It's
is that?
Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Wow.
The late Jack Frost, rest in peace. Which his wife actually finished that book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Interesting.
But it gives a great perspective of an orphan heart versus the heart of a son or a daughter. And a big piece of that is forgiveness. And if you don't have a good relationship, this will be a good transition into like family time, is if you don't have a good relationship with your earthly parents, it's going to be hard for you to have a strong relationship with your heavenly Father.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, do we want to expand on like, no, I can see the look in her eyes. Another day.
Our relationships with our parents.
Well, just the journey of sonship and how, at least personally speaking, reading that book at least, and we've listened to it on our drive to Vegas before.
I don't
we
remember
fell asleep,
anything.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, a big part of it is seeking, not going up to your parents and saying, these are the areas that you fell short. And I want you to apologize to me for the areas that you fell short. But again, taking an internal look and an arrows out perspective of, forgive me for the areas that I fell short. It did not represent being a son or a daughter the best. And having done that with my mom was a big turning point of when sonship like actually settled in, and the peace fully settled on my life, which was, we can talk about that another day.
Oh, yeah. I think more so, but you would be really good to touch base on that because your relationship with your mom especially has been an evolving thing as you've been getting older. And it wasn't always there necessarily. We're like,
No, and it's still really
it's
not, but at least the forgiveness piece of it is there.
is whereas I think with my family, I'm really quick to forgive and forget. And I, to a fault.
No.
No?
No, not here.
No, with my parents.
Okay, yes.
I said with my parents. I didn't say with you, sir. That's different.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
No, with my
This woman's
parentals.
got a whole book. Just
Yes,
kidding.
I keep tabs. I'm a woman. I'm emotional.
So it's a woman thing, huh?
I will say I am emotional more towards you than anybody else, but that's because
you love me.
yes, you are my safe space. So I feel like it's okay at times for me to be human.
No, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I
So
accept.
forgive me for my humanness, and I'm so sorry.
No, that's what I signed up for.
That's what you signed up for.
Yep. I was like, look, if she's that hot, she's got to be that crazy.
I'm not even close to crazy. I'm easy. Yeah.
Yep. No, but so that's holistic health.
Yeah.
In a very scatterbrained aspect of it.
Yes.
But we can, because all those this is just, and again, a lot of our conversations are just 101 level conversation. It's not,
we won't be able to, we'll have to like break everything down within sections because again, we are coaches. We do really enjoy education, I'd say, and evolving and learning and growing constantly.
being listened to.
Being listened to, yes.
Not in a talking aspect of things, but in a like, sorry to.
No, you're fine. I'm
but in
listening.
a, like,
I'm listening.
Yeah. This is going to sound so bad, and maybe it's something I got to work on. But for people to understand that what I'm saying has weight and that I'm actually aiming to help, and that if you just listen to the help that is offered, and this is just in the workout context of things.
Yes.
Or the like, because again, that's speaking of like socially, if I don't feel, wow, I just said if I don't feel, I just said I have feelings.
You have feelings?
But if I don't feel that I could, be transparent with you, then this relationship is not going to, like, it's going to be cut off really fast.
Intellectual conversations where you're both learning and, I guess, educating.
Yeah, iron sharpening iron. Like, if it's not that, then I don't, it's a waste of time. And I know that everybody has their seasons. And thankfully, throughout again, this is where it takes a whole body of individuals. That's not my strength, so I can always pass it off to the people that are more nurturing and tenderhearted.
You're welcome.
Because when people come to me during their needy season, I'm like, go away.
Yes, that is true. But no, I agree. I think the whole sharpening, iron sharpens iron. I mean, we're both, that's why we're in the field that we're in. Mm-hmm. And that's probably why we are starting this podcast too, because I feel like we have a lot to share and a lot to constantly grow in. So like this pushes us to be a little bit.
And the challenging part is, again, nobody's watching this
no,
right
we're doing
now.
this.
This is just for fun.
For ourselves.
But it's kind of like, do we want to dig deep into stuff when nobody's going to be watching it?
Sure.
But if over the course of, 3 years from now, hopefully we'll have at least one or two intentional, like, viewers that like each episode or whatever resonates with the individual. Yeah. Like that's the goal. And so we don't want to, at least my brain, the way my brain thinks, I don't want to dive. I want to keep it 101
until someone's interested in more.
Yeah, until somebody's interested in more.
Okay. So we'll probably be touching on this a lot.
And this won't be running out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Because everything can go, we can talk forever on multiple different things, but all of this is just very surface level stuff at the start. And so.
Well, since we're on like the topic of holistic health, let's talk about holistic health as parents. Mm-hmm. So one of our conversations this past week was, disciplining our daughter. And what does that look like? We're definitely not perfect in it. So we created a behavior chart because, I mean, beforehand we were like, if you do this, then we're going to do this. And if you don't stop doing that, then mommy and daddy are going to get mad. And it just was not working for our daughter. So we took a step back. We even got frustrated with each other.
What?
Yes.
No, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
We took a step back. We reflected and we're like, what's actually going to work for our kid? Because it's not about how we're feeling in those moments. And we don't want Gianna to feed off of that either. And this behavior chart has been amazing.
Yeah. And as a parent, you don't want to go into default mode because your default mode is everything that you didn't want to have happen with your kid because of how you're not. Look, none of us have like
Perfect
severe trauma
parents,
with parents, but like every parent is going to be imperfect. Every human is going to be imperfect.
Right.
So you just don't want to duplicate, but the tendency is to go to that default mode of how you were parented.
Right.
And I think that's what makes people good parents or not so good parents is their ability to take an egoless, a humble approach to like, okay, something's got to change here.
Yeah. Well, we can go into talking about emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Especially even towards a toddler. I think, which is way harder because they can't communicate
and she's a
properly.
redhead, so she is just
spicy. Like, so spicy.
Caliente.
Yes.
But that behavior
she's
chart.
Mexican too.
Yep.
And
she's
Samoan.
Latina.
And a redhead. She's an angry individual.
Yeah. But she's the definition of a Sour Patch Kid.
She is. She is great in so many ways too, though. Mm-hmm. But I feel bad for the person that decides to do her wrong one day because she will be ruthless.
Yeah. But this behavior chart, do you want to expand? Well, look,
We're going to talk about my misspelling.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So we just knew that we had to create something. I didn't know if it was going to be like put a sticker on the board or whatever, but thankfully Riley's creativity or Pinterest
I did Pinterest, and then I was like, what did we do in kindergarten and first grade?
So in the middle is just her starting point, which is, and we color coded the different areas so we can say, hey, we're going to move you up to.
Yeah. If you remember first grade kindergarten, the whole clip.
Flipping your card.
Yeah. Moving your clip down or moving it up is what we did.
So there's a start, which is green. As she trends up positively, there's good job, which Riley labeled in orange. Tell you what, we're going to take a picture and we're going to put it right here.
For any other future parents that want it.
But just for those visual learners, again, the two people watching. Anyways, good job is orange. Fantastic is a blue section. And then outstanding is a purple section. And so day one, at least, moving it up was not just like every little thing, but pre-nap would say if she was being and I don't want to go into like good kid versus bad kid. Yeah. But
I mean, every kid is different. Yeah. So for Gigi specifically.
Yeah. If she was, I don't even want to say being enjoyable. You know what I'm trying to say. But like.
If she was listening.
If she was
being kind.
Being kind and listening. Then it would go to the good job. And the milestone, because again, I have her more in the middle of the day, is that if she took her nap, she would go to blue, fantastic, and that would earn her she's a foodie, so that would earn her some type of snack, something small. And then if by nighttime she was still responding well and being kind, then she would finish and brush her teeth and things like that. Then she would move up to outstanding. And if she finished the day at outstanding, she would get a reward first thing the next morning, which was her cake pops.
Yes.
So
her dang Starbucks, which I'm going to learn how to make those.
Yeah. Or like
so that we can
this morning, she didn't have one.
I know, but I just want a stash of cake pops in the freezer.
having cake pops in the morning is not the best parenting move, but it works for what we're creating, the behaviors that we're creating. And as we trend down, warning was yellow, timeout is orange, and loose a privilege is red. So you want to expand on loosing a privilege, Riley?
Yeah. That day we went to the playground. She had a meltdown. I actually was really rude to Martin also, and I snapped at him a little bit at the park. And we like came home and both of us were just like spent, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to help our kid get away from these meltdowns. So I'm just writing and I'm just like going. I don't even know what I'm saying or spelling at this point. And I write down loose as in LOOSE, a privilege, instead of lose a privilege. And I didn't catch it. Martin's like, lose a privilege. And I was like, yeah, lose a privilege. And he's like, lose a privilege. And I was like, yeah, lose a privilege. And I was like, what are you trying to get at, sir? And then he points it out and it took me forever. I was staring at it and I was like, oh my God, there's 2 O's in there. And he's like, yeah. So, so now if Gianna does get to red, he's like, oh, you lose the privilege. And I was like,
Very fob.
We sound so fobbish. And I was like, you know what? Blame my family because that's how we speak. So it wasn't, I remember I'm a kinesiology major. Spelling is not my strong suit. I can do math though. And I can read a biology book and I enjoy that more than reading like.
If you can't spell, you can't read.
I swear growing up that I was dyslexic and my parents didn't tell me. And come to find out, my half sister is dyslexic and so is my biological dad. So I swear that I am slightly, I've trained it enough, but I think I've had moments in my life.
So
that is our behavior chart. And that is parenting 101 with a spicy redhead Mexican Samoan child who loves food and doesn't take naps.
She's about 4 out of 7 days with a nap.
She only naps with you.
Yep.
She will not nap with me.
Yeah, she loves cuddling with mom. So
yes, excessively. That I can't breathe. I'm like smothered.
Now you know how it feels.
Whatever. You used to love it.
Yeah. You hear that?
What?
I want to try and come up with something.
You got put on your Justin cap, okay?
Yeah.
Start thinking like Justin.
Anyways, questions from the kids.
We're doing questions for each other too, yeah?
At the end?
Yeah.
If you got one, sure.
I have some.
Okay.
Questions from the kids.
Yep.
I said that last time. Are you the red imposter? I still don't know what that is. If you changed your job, what would you change it to?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Let's guess one another's.
I feel like
like you would be good at this.
I've been on a job hunt, so I feel like you already know mine.
No, I meant comedic. So Riley would be a private investigator because there's nothing that gets past you.
Sharp man, sharp. Anima's high key stalker.
Yeah. That's why she likes you and all those serial killer type shows. She's like, somebody gets me finally.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be in the mind of a murderer to know their tendencies so that you can avoid it.
Yep. Some would call it that. Sociopath or psychopath. But...
Yes, but I don't use my powers for evil.
So it's a power.
It's an awareness.
Okay. So Riley would be a private investigator. What would I be if I wasn't a coach or trainer or whatever?
I don't even know. With your new look, I want to say with your new
what do you mean new look?
Your Ugg boots and the mustache and the haircut. I'm putting down firefighter vibes.
Firefighter.
I can see you being a firefighter. You know what? Yes, because yes, because you don't think twice about putting your life on the line for somebody's safety.
No, I don't.
No. And I was thinking about that the other day randomly for some reason.
Why?
I was just
When have I done that?
I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, like I think I saw a video of like if that house was on fire, would I run in to go save somebody or would I call 911 first?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, I'd call 911 first and then I would probably run in the fire because I know I would die first. Like I would be completely helpless in that situation. For you, I think you react so well to things and you kind of have like this like superhero mentality. And I don't know if it's just because we watch a lot of Marvel movies, but I can really, you apply more to those situations than most people probably would. And you would react quickly to solve solutions or solve conflicts in high stress situations.
Well, there you go.
So saving lives.
If I was not a coach or a trainer, what would I be?
I said firefighter.
I know.
Oh.
And now I'm thinking for myself.
Yeah. Do you think that that's far out there?
No, not far off at all.
Yeah. Would you ever do like
it's having a family. I wouldn't want to be away from you guys for that long.
Yeah.
Like the whole 3 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 4 days off. But as far as like would they contribute to society? Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
But I don't know what other job I would do apart from.
Well, I know you're not a nurturer, but you're definitely a rescuer of some kind. And I don't think you would do police. I don't think you'd be in law enforcement at all. You would not want to be a doctor or a surgeon or
No, firefighter was great.
Yeah. Yeah, that or if you were a war vet in like Vietnam, like those.
No, do not dishonor those that serve because
I'm not. I'm saying you're one of those people that's like willing to put your life out there for the safety of people.
It'd be some sort of special
ops. You'd be a sniper for sure.
Not military, but like a SWAT. But in order to become SWAT, you got to. I know.
Don't sass your book over here.
But
I know.
Anyways, what would you do, Riley?
I for sure have thought of being a private investigator.
Yep.
And I think actually Aubrey and I we had a forensic kit when we were kids. And we used to love watching 48 Hours and doing our forensic kit. And one of my old parents, I used to coach her daughter a long, long time ago. She was a PI investigator, and I picked her brain, and I was like, that sounds like a great job. And then again, it doesn't, because there's so many dirty things out in the world that I don't think I want to know.
Yeah.
So, what do you think your job would be?
Probably firefighter.
Okay.
Some type of, not heroic, but.
I think you're heroic.
Yeah. I would say that's more of a gift from God than, because I don't think about that type of stuff. I feel like I just do it and have that faith. It comes from having faith.
Yeah.
The honest part of it. Because when you think, you hesitate and
I still
somebody
think
dies.
It's a gift. Because you know who has that quality? And that's someone who is really like important to me is my dad. And I've always admired that about my dad. I was like, my dad, if I ever have a problem, if I think I'm going to die in like 2 seconds, my dad is the first person I'm calling.
Yeah.
So, and you know what they say? Always find someone that resembles your dad in that way when you do get married, and you do in those situations.
All right. Questions for one another, because we do have to pick up Gigi in a little bit.
Yes, we do.
To finish this off.
Okay. My questions. I had some trivia questions for you since we were doing holistic health.
Okay.
Okay. True or false? The human brain continues to grow throughout life.
True.
False.
What?
Your brain stops growing at 18. What country has the highest life expectancy in the world?
Hold on.
Oh.
Growing or developing? Like physical growing or?
The human brain continues to grow throughout life. I think just expanding.
Okay, I took that as like your cognitive development.
No. Cognitively, your brain is still developing when you get to like 25.
Okay. But it whatever. Anyways,
like
I guess I was wrong.
The size of your brain. Can the size of your brain keep growing?
No, you mean like Megamind.
Well,
anyways.
some people might have really small brains. Okay, what country has the highest life expectancy in the world?
Japan?
Yeah. Good.
Because I'm smart.
There are
It's because they
5
eat so much fish. Their food is very,
clean.
they got clean food over there.
Yeah, they do. And yeah, that's a whole another thing. There are 5 ranked happiest and healthiest places on earth. Where are they?
Physical locations
Like
or
countries. Start with countries.
The 5 happiest countries in the world.
Yes.
God, this is okay. For some reason, I feel like Norway is on the list.
Okay.
Finland, like I'm getting a very Nordic
Okay.
vibe. Fiji,
Okay, that's 3.
countries. Help me out here.
I mean, you said 1.
Sweden.
Highest life expectancy.
Switzerland, then.
No,
Oh, Japan. Sorry,
Japan.
Switzerland, Sweden. I think of those, like
Okay.
that area.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
I'm clearly not going to get all 5.
So it's there. There's all certain areas of these countries.
Got it.
I just cannot pronounce the names at all. Italy,
Okay.
Greece,
I was going to say Sicily.
Costa Rica, Loma Linda, California.
Because they're freaking rich over there.
Not necessarily.
Loma Linda?
Loma Linda. It's a high senior community.
Oh, the elders.
And then Okinawa, Japan.
Okay, so cities, not because I was thinking Sicily, Italy.
Well, I can't pronounce. This one just says Barbagia region of Sardinia in Italy.
Got it.
And so there was a study found that 5 regions had only a significantly higher longevity, but also lower rates of dementia, chronic age-related diseases, and residents in these places aged slower because of higher levels of the sex hormone DHEA. And that actually helps
From
bones
sunlight and testosterone and yeah.
So they resemble someone in their 20s. So like Loma Linda, it's a senior community that they're talking about. And their health expectancy or their health, whatever biological age, resembles somebody in their 20s.
Wow.
And it's just because those people are doing the basics in life, which is like gardening, playing pickleball, being outside, doing the simple things in life. And I'm like, that sounds nice. That's the life I want. Call it mundane or whatever. I'm cool with it.
I would say that's a level of adulting is when you realize that life is not about all the stupid cars and houses and whatever. It's
the trips, the clothes.
Yeah.
I can wear sweatpants and a sweater for the rest of my life and be happy.
no, that would be way too hot.
Oh, okay.
Because if any place I'm thinking about living, I don't want to be wearing a sweatpants and sweater.
No, but every winter I get so excited to wear sweatpants and a sweater, like to just be cozy all the time and slightly lazy.
Yep.
But yeah, those are my trivia questions for you.
Okay. I cannot think of anything. No fun questions from me today. I'm not feeling very fun.
And that's okay. You did have questions on here. You said if you had...
No, that was yours. You put those.
Oh, I put those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever we were first. So pick one.
Okay. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life.
Okay, this is my question. I wasn't gonna say that one, but an expansion of that question. If there is one physical item, food-wise, not like a plate,
Okay.
or a restaurant or whatever, but there's one thing that you can eat that would be the equivalent of eating like kale or broccoli. It becomes a superfood. What would you make your superfood?
Oh my gosh, my guilty pleasure.
What would it be?
Hot Cheetos.
Okay, you wouldn't even go for like the Trader Joe's Takis.
No.
You would just straight up go for hot Cheetos.
Absolutely. Because that is the junkiest of junk food that makes me feel terrible. But I love the flavor.
But you have to always go buy it. It's not
Yeah,
just gonna
but if
be-
it's resembles the health,
No, yeah, I guess.
the health of kale and spinach and all that, I'm eating it, and it doesn't make me feel terrible.
Fine.
What's yours?
The classic chocolate chip cookie. It's got to
I
be
should have known.
home cooked. I don't like Chips Ahoy or like
Yes, you
not
are a
a
very
dry.
specific cookie
Yes.
monster.
Mhm.
I know.
Yep.
I don't bake the cookies because if I do, he's like, ugh, they're burnt. They're not. They're still brown on the bottom. They're just not gooey in the center like he likes it.
Right.
So I don't cook cookies correctly.
Bake cookies.
Sorry. There we go again. I don't bake.
Nope.
No.
All right. Well, that's all we got for the day.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Good night.